swore on live television as well that night. Yeah, but I've never done that before. I mean, I've sworn before, but never accidentally. And we were being interviewed for, and Christian was sort of like, quite, you know, being a bit boisterous, and he must have brought out the worst in me, and I just accidentally said the F word, and I apologised straight away. I didn't want to embarrass Phil Dupas. He was doing a good job. He does that himself, yeah.
but I was thinking about yesterday, and you're saying a bronze isn't worth having, right?
Yeah.
But, say like...
We're only joking, none of them are worth having, but they're very nice. They're very nice to win.
Bronze is pointless.
But you say that, because like, bronze is the name of the person who won the marathon this year. No?
Yeah, but that's because we're not sporty. I'm sure there's lots that can.
But then, the guy who came last, who was in the swimsuit, people remember him. And
no, I don't remember his name either.
No, what's his name?
No, but he was 6 days late. I mean, he was really...
Yeah, but what's his name then?
You see, well, no one's remembering either.
No, but if someone said, who won the marathon, I'd go, I don't know, but there was that guy in the swimsuit.
Well, I'd say, I don't know, it was a woman.
Yeah.
She had shorts on and trainers.
I'm just trying to...
My point is, what they will remember is that we were losers. That's what they'll remember. They may not remember our names. Yeah. They'll just point and shout losers.
We're all winners, though, aren't we? We're all winners, really.
We're taking part, sure.
Yeah.
And it's all subjective as well, isn't it?
Go on.
I mean, I'm not going to moan about awards, because you've won a lot of them. It's like saying they don't mean jack. But at the end of the day, right, there's some shows that won awards, and you go, yeah, that's, you know, that's worth an award.
I think you've got to treat it... I mean, some awards actually boost your profile or career or your cachet or everything like that. Some it's just a nice night out when it's nice to win, but I don't think you should really take any award that seriously.
What worries me though, Rick, as I mentioned on the night, is that when I was at school, I mean, you look at me now, you probably think he's an athletic kind of guy, he's a sporty dude, you know, but at school, bizarrely, that was not the case.
No, what, were you a bit of a lanky beanbag?
It turns out.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So, and yet I got a silver, in the high jump. Yeah. And I've done better in the high jump, right? Did no training whatsoever, did no practice, just turned up.
You were 2.5 foot taller than every other person in your class.
But wait a minute, people think that if you're tall, that makes you easier, it makes it easier for you to do the high jump. Surely not, because I've got all that leg to get over the pole. That makes it harder for me, surely.
Don't talk rubbish.
What are you talking about?
Well, of course the taller you are, the more chance you got on the high jump.
What, explain that to me.
Are you, okay then. So, is it harder for a 6-foot man to step over a matchbox, or a baby midget?
A baby midget? That is tiny, Rick.
Hang on. Here's something I've learned, remember?
Go on.
Back to, like, show 4 or whatever.
Go on.
What is it? 4? The flea can jump over the London Eye?
No! No, it can jump the equivalent of if it was a 6-foot man. It can jump about 6 inches high. A flea cannot jump over the London Eye.
Yes, it can. Yeah, it can.
And
tell your kids that.
Oh,
remember?
Oh, a flea can jump over the London Eye, and an ant can lift 3 Volvos.
but you're talking about fitness people and that. Remember when we were in the pub, right?
Yeah.
And your mate Johnny was in there.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that guy who got done, right? Because he entered a wheelchair race.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with him. His legs were all right.
Yeah.
Now he got done because he shouldn't have been involved in it.
Yeah.
But don't you think that really he's really good for doing that, because he's not normally in a wheelchair.
Sure.
So he's not used to how they move about.
Yeah.
His arms aren't as strong as the other fellas who are always in a wheelchair.
Sure. He had his mate pushing him, that was the problem.
Yeah, it was motorised.
I'd give him a gold plus. You know, you're taking a bloke who's not used to doing something, he does it the first time and beats the people who are at it.
What about that woman, though, that was disqualified in the shooting, because she was in a wheelchair, and she was just in the normal, able-bodied Olympics, it was just, right, but she wasn't allowed to rest her elbow on the arm of her chair, because that was a disadvantage. She was in a wheelchair, and she's shooting, but she was getting an unfair advantage, and they said, you cannot put your elbow on the arm of your
sneaky,
wheelchair.
Aren't they? No, they are. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Do you want to play it?
Some of them aren't even disabled, it turns out.
Hold on, though. We're talking about athletes, aren't we? What record should we play next?
I'd love to hear that single that was out a couple of months back by Athlete. Let's have Athlete. Man, I love Athlete. West Side by Athlete, a track that I know you and I have enjoyed.
Yeah, it's one of our favourite new tracks of the year, that one. Yeah,
absolutely.
Very good. More of our favourite tracks to come on XFM 104.9.
You know,
me, Richard Gervais, and you,
Steve Merchant,
and
Carl Pilkington.
Sure, go on.
You know, I was mentioning the high jump. That high jump. Do you know the reason I didn't get the gold? It's faintly embarrassing, because the guy it was just neck and neck, me and another guy. In fact, he was slightly shorter than I was. And I was using the traditional Fosby flop. Is it the Fosby flop? Fosby flop. And he was using a method, which I can only describe as the Superman, where he was running at the bar and diving headfirst over it. I've never seen this technique before.
It's illegal, that's
Absolutely incredible. Is it not allowed?
The Fosby flop only works because his shoulder and are going over before his head.
Right.
That's they got around the rule. You weren't allowed to dive over because it was
Obviously no one monitoring that.
Yeah. No,
Just the games teachers having a quick fag.
Yeah. What was his name again?
The
fag.
I think his name was Mr. Woodbine. Anyway, so he's using this method, right, and it gets neck and neck, and I don't know how many chances you get to knock down the bar, but anyway, it got to the point where basically I had to get over the bar, or I was going to come second.
Sure.
And I decided at that point to use his method. Because he'd seemed to be doing so well with it, I thought, well, I'll try that then. That looks easy.
Oh, dear.
And ran at the bar, launched, didn't actually get my feet off the ground, just hit the bar like I was someone finishing a race, you know.
Did you have...
It's so pathetic, just clattered everywhere.
I just want to get this picture of you at the age of, what, 15, 16? Yeah. 6'5" already, probably?
Yeah,
probably, what, about 9 stone?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have your glasses on?
Of course I did.
You must have looked pretty sexy.
Probably a small bum fluff tash.
Yeah,
as well.
That must have been good. Was it true once, when you were about 16, you decided to wear a dicky bow to school?
Yeah.
That must have been great.
That was during my PG Woodhouse phase.
You thought you'd be a hit with the ladies if you were more sophisticated.
Well, not only that, I thought it made me kind of kooky and eccentric.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't already. 6'7", goggle-eyed.
Yeah.
Like they're not already thinking there goes a weirdo. Oh, he's a weirdo with a bow tie.
Yeah. Does it spin round, mate?
Yeah, what
you're getting me hot.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I wore that for about 6 months, and it was in school colours, because we had to wear a tie, so school colours was a bow tie. I mean, now I don't, oh, man.
I can't believe
I don't know what I was
Carl, when you were, a little Pilkington, right? What was, if you had hair, what would it be like?
What do you mean?
Well, you obviously had hair then, back then. What was the, style?
It was like, sort of, I had quite sort of, fine, sort of straight hair.
Yeah.
Right. Hairdresser once said to me, "You've got hair of a Chinaman."
He was a wise man, wasn't he? What do you think that meant then? Oh!
He just said, he just said you got the same hair as a Chinese man has. Very straight, quite fine.
Why is he telling it? I just imagine this bar going, the arse was well, didn't it, sir? Someone like that? You got that you have the hair of a Chinaman. I'm sorry, nothing. You're not the spy. No, I'm not. Thank you. Good night. Oh, you're not like that. Yeah, lovely. You have the feet of a fish. I'm sorry, nothing. It's not you. Okay, next. You have the hair of a Chinaman.
It was one of those barbers. It was a cheap one, just on a railway bridge.
I don't believe that. Go on.
On a railway bridge?
That's why it was cheap. There was very low rent, so he could charge.
That wasn't a barber, that was a man with some scissors.
Yeah. Did you go, oh, I have to move you there, sir? Wow. Okay, back in the chair, sir.
I imagine them on one of those things you always see in old films where you've got
to pump it up and down, yeah, like a Caesar. Yeah.
That's not as good as that. It was just a normal chair, little wooden hut, and he did have to stop when a train came past, because it used to...
Well, because he had to change the signal.
Just making a few extra bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
That's Manchester for you.
Oh, God. It wasn't Bernard Cribbins, was it?
I always remember him saying, "Do you want your hair washing?" And I said, "Is it free? You know, does it come with it?" And he said, "Yeah." So I said, "Oh, go on then." He said, "Hang on now, I'll just have to wash these mugs up." He had like a sink full of mugs.
Oh,
so I'll
God.
just take these out and then I can wash your head.
Oh, no.
And that's why.
Why did you go to this man?
It was cheap.
How much was it?
About £2.
And when was this?
God, at 88, 89.
All right.
Yeah.
So what happened to your Chinese hair? When did it start coming out?
You have the hair of a bald Chinaman now, don't you?
You've got the hair of a Chinaman in a box now.
I used to just work a lot of hours, and I think...
That's what made it float.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not. It's genetic. You can't stop it.
It's not genetic.
Of course it is.
No, it's got more hair than me now, I think.
Is your mum?
Kojak's got more hair than you, Carl.
Anyway.
Don't have a go at Carl's hair. That's a bit harsh.
Oh, look at his little
What
face.
did it say before in that book about going bald? It said, it had a little tip, didn't it? We'll go over them later.
It says, if you're going thin, doesn't it say, cut your hair short and something like that?
So it makes you look thicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got people are offering Carl lots of. We're coming up to that. In
Yeah,
a
well, we'll
few
go through that.
minutes.
So obviously we
To win that BAFTA bag.
Shall I remind people what the competition was?
Yeah.
Last week we were giving away this bag that we got signed by various celebrities at the BAFTAs, and we asked you to email or write in with your suggestions as to what you have that you could swap for the bag, and it has to be something that will enhance Carl's life. We've had quite a lot of suggestions. I'll go through those a bit later, but they're some of them are quite eccentric.
Meanwhile, I'm going to play one of my favourite songs off one of my favourite albums.
Look forward to hearing it.
It's Radiohead. It's the Bends, and this is Black Star.
Go for it.
Sugar Cubes.
Hit.
Yeah, on XFM 104.9. Our last show till August.
Absolutely.
Sorry about that. We'll miss it. We can't avoid it really. We've got to go away and do some filming, and they're only going to miss you anyway, Carl. They can do without us now.
Zoe Ball's on.
Yeah, Zoe Ball. And who else is after her? She's not doing the whole one, is she?
Yeah, I think so.
Is she doing the whole 3 months, is she?
Yeah.
Tell her not to get too comfortable. Right? Don't let her feet and don't let Big Boy Slim come in with her, because he mixes up the records, doesn't he? And ruins them.
Yeah. Hey, talking of DJing,
Go on.
you know I did that storming set the other night
yeah.
for XFM.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Go on.
This was down at a little club, in case you weren't aware of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to the Sony's the other night.
Yeah.
Carl Pilkington sidles up to me, slips me an envelope.
Go on.
200 big ones in there.
Did you get paid cash for that?
Yeah. £200. Taxman won't know about that. Cash in hand.
No, the tax won't know, because I mean, obviously no one who ever works in tax office is listening to local radio.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, so,
No, the taxman will know about it,
yeah.
because I'll declare it.
I would.
Put it, yeah, it's going straight down. I'll do it when I get home. Do it when I get in later on.
And don't write off rubbish that you buy anyway, like, you know.
No, I won't. I'll do it all above board officially. Fill it all in correctly. And so I'll send it now, I'll send it tomorrow so that you get it early. So it's not too busy for you, sir.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, also, did you see, Liquid News last night?
What is Liquid News? I don't really watch
It's the
Liquid
thing
News.
on, Choice, right, and it's, sort of celebrity news, yeah? And, Julian Clary, was on, and, they were talking about the Sony Awards the night before, which we went to, and they said, something like, a relatively unknown had won the entertainment award that we were up for, and Christian and Chris Moyles and Jonathan Ross said that, beating off bigger people, not he was beating off bigger people, they weren't suggesting he was...
Was Julian Clary beating off at the heart again?
Yeah, and it said, so, the people who didn't win resorted to silliness, and it cut, right, I don't know where the camera was, it must have been miles away, because it wasn't us, cut to me making a little hat for you out of a Budweiser box, a little diet thing, and then forcing it on your head, and you sort of struggling. Do you remember that?
I do remember it.
Yeah. They're always watching.
They were filming us?
They were filming it, yeah.
Scary.
So, yeah.
That's really scary, because some of the things we were doing...
Because I was tying scarves around your head, wasn't I? We were
touching Carl in an intimate way.
We were gaying him up.
Gaying him up.
To make him feel all uncomfortable and everything. Because he doesn't like that sort of thing, do you?
Can't stand it.
We're going to be giving you a cuddle about 5 to 3, seriously.
Yeah,
We are going to...
On the way out.
And I've got roaming hands.
Yeah.
Do you know them girls who came up from the radio academy and sort of said, "Oh, so you're Carl then?"
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. A couple of fans went up to Carl.
Just on.
That's because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we teased Carl that he had to go as Steve's partner to the BAFTAs, and they really meant partners. You know, after the show, when he was walking home, he was going to go buy his suit, I actually said, they will ask you. He went, well, what if they say, and as we walk in, Steve Merchant and his boyfriend Carl, I went, well, they won't say that as you walk in, they might overdub it on the television, so he's going, well, what about my mates in Manchester? And he said, I'm not going. The risk of someone in Manchester thinking that he was going out with you, mind you, it wasn't, it was probably going, wow,
if he was going to see where you're going with that.
if you were going to be gay, you wouldn't choose Steve, would you?
No.
Who would you choose if you were gay?
If you could go out with any bloke, who would it be?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You've thought about it before.
Go on. No, of course not. No, it would be, if, you know, if you were gay, what bloke would you go out with?
God, probably, Jonathan Ross is alright.
You gay! You fancy Jonathan Ross, you... Oh, Bender!
Rossi! Oh, you've got his number, haven't you? We should get contact.
Love you, Jonathan, you!
Jonathan, I love your film show. You're so funny and handsome as well.
Rock and roll with me, David Bowie, off Diamond Dogs. Another one of my favourite tracks.
Cracking.
Great track, isn't it? Well, it's time for Carl's Room 101. Carl was too shy to obviously ever do this for real, but we thought that end the run of this with things that Carl hates.
Yeah,
we know the thing he likes. We know that. So Carl,
We should just point out that we've been inspired by the TV show Room 101. We didn't come up with this ourselves.
Yeah, we did. This is Room 102. Yeah, we'll be Paul Merton, and you be Carl Pilkington. Right. You can chance to banish to Room 101 all those things that you dislike. They're never to be seen again. Will you please welcome Carl Pilkington?
Alright.
Who?
How are you doing?
Alright, Carl, so what does this represent? And imagine me putting something on a table next to you, go on.
Right. Well, first of all, right, it's dead hard to come up with like 5 things that drive you up the wall.
Okay.
Right, it's not easy because there's so many things.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, picking 5, it's like someone saying pick your 5 favourite records and 5 favourite films.
Yeah.
It's hard, so...
You know in Desert Island Discs where you always get the complete works of Shakespeare in the Bible?
Yeah.
I think you should include Ricky Gervais. I think you should always be there already in Room 101. They don't have to nominate you. You always go in.
Go on then.
So don't bother putting him in. Don't bother putting Ricky in, Carl. He's already there.
I'm already there, waiting.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, right, I thought of like things that we've done in the past.
Sure.
And like quotes and that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That quote that people say that, you know, money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
Right, we're just rattling through some here.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
What?
The quote, money doesn't make you happy?
Yeah, because it does. It clearly does.
Right.
Without it, life's pretty dull, isn't it?
Yeah. Good.
Right, so
okay.
so that's like a little short thing, and you know, then that sort of makes you think about people with money. There was a programme on in the week. I don't know if you saw it, Steve. The one Posh Loaded.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? That was a great show.
So annoying.
Oh yeah.
There was a girl on there, right, who's from a rich family and that, and you know, it's not her fault she's from a rich family.
No.
It's like how posh people annoy people. That doesn't annoy me because the way I sound is because of where I'm brought up and that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you sound posh, you sound posh. It's, you know, it doesn't change you as a person or whatever.
Yeah, it's quite
But this girl, right? Did you see it, Steve?
I did.
You didn't see it, did you, Ricky, right? This girl goes shopping. She buys like 4 t-shirts and a crappy little handbag.
Yeah.
Spends about 1,300 quid, and she's just wasting it. Going, you know, the woman's saying, "Oh, you'll love these. You know, they're really in fashion." She said, "Oh, whatever. I'll probably only wear them once anyway." And it's just that sort of thing annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, people with money, you know, who have grafted for it, are good, but like, you know, people who just get money given to them from the rich parents driving up the wall. There was another point, right, where she's in a shoe shop, right, and she's like got these big boots and stuff, but part of the problem is, right, she's quite odd looking in that, right, but she's got a lot of money, so she makes herself look half decent. Yeah. Problem is, she's got fat ankles.
She's got what?
Fat ankles.
Right.
And they drive her up the wall because no matter, I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's almost like God has gone, yeah, you can have all the toffees and stuff you want, you can have like your nice t-shirts, but at the end of the day, love, you're stuck with these ankles, and you can see these.
I love the idea of God saying, right, you can have all the toffees you want,
Yeah.
and you have nice handbags and that, but you're stuck with these ankles, oh God!
And I really wanted to get a job in that shoe shop where she was going in, blowing her dad's money, and she was calling up her dad saying, "Oh, Daddy, is it alright if, you know, I'm just out shopping, I've just bought some shoes that have cost like $1,000, and I really wanted a job in that shoe shop, just so I could sit there, and when she comes in, you go, "Oh, hello, love," whatever her name is, "lovely to see you here again, got some lovely new shoes in, look at these nice new boots, everyone's wearing them, Victoria Beckham, and you know, all the it girls are wearing them, yeah, try them on. Oh, you can't because your ankles are so fat, you can't get into these, never mind, here's some boots." She really annoyed me, and I'm not a nasty person.
You're not.
She brought it out of me.
Oh, I'm worried though, this idea of you getting a job in a shoe shop, I'm not
know.
sure you're qualified.
I like all that's way round it. That some people go, oh, I'd like her to lose all her money or something. He'd like to actually bother go through getting the job in the shop.
Yeah.
And then just wait in there.
You'd be too busy mucking around outside, like on some kind of trolley stuck in a little lake.
Yeah.
But interestingly, in that show, I was watching that show, and at one point, you mentioned that her fat heels or her fat ankles.
Yeah.
She said, I'd like to have various changes to my body. I know, plastic surgery. I'd like to do this to my face and da 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 da. And her mum's there, and her mum's going, no, don't be so. That's like, no, you're my daughter. You're beautiful. Da 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 da. No, you shouldn't. I'm not going to let you